This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. I'm here with Healing Through Embodiment. Since 2024, they have provided cutting-edge tools and science-backed products to inspire and remind you to live happier, healthier, and wealthier lives. I'm joined here with the owner and coach, Stephani. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to start off a little bit about yourself. You were formerly educated with a BA in psychology from Louisiana State University. You have furthered your education through the years in many areas, from leadership coaching to self-employment. Your experience has led you where you are now today. Share with me a little bit how this passion for helping other people started with you.
Sure. I was thinking about that earlier today, probably as a child when I started reading Nancy Drew books. Kind of dates me, but I began to develop that detective bug. I wanted to find out. I was paying attention to things that maybe other people wouldn't see. And so that served me on my journey as I grew up in an Italian Catholic family. And I made the A's, became the cheerleader, did all the things you were supposed to do, right? And then I realized, there's a little more to life than that. Got married, I'm very happily married, started having kids. And then we had a medical crisis. And when you have a medical crisis in which your child appears to be kidnapped internally, it's like their soul is taken out of their body, and they're terrorized, and they have these symptoms of tics and twitches, and they refuse school, become very defiant. It threw us headlong down a rabbit hole. We had to get off the bench, become medical investigators, I say medical detectives. Oh. I know, it was horrifying. That's just one chapter in the book. We've gone beyond that. But on that journey, I picked up a lot of skills, a lot of knowledge and information. And it opened my heart, Gary, for healing, but at the root cause, not just throwing meds at symptoms. Let's heal the human from the inside out and give them some relief.
So not the Western solution of let's just take a pill and move on with it. Healing is what we all seek, really, when something disrupts our normal bodily functions. Are more people seeking healing, or maybe some type of ailment bothers them? In other words, is it more common than we're thinking it is? Are people hurting out there?
People are hurting on so many levels. People are suffering from basic hormonal imbalances, emotional dysregulation, societal pressures. Right now life is insane in terms of all the slices and levels that it's coming at us. What I help people with is to address some of the symptoms by getting to the root causes in a very natural, healthy, chemical-free way, because we're assaulted right now as it is. Every time I walk into a store and I go into the bathroom, I'm thinking, are you trying to actively kill me one sniff at a time? Because the fragrance and everything is coming in so strong. And that's just like one assault. So people are suffering just because of our modern lifestyle. They're suffering.
When our body is injured, we seek a medical professional. Yet many issues can't be fixed with just a cast or surgery. Are people kind of left on their own to find relief many times?
Absolutely. On our journey, most of our expenses were out of pocket. We had to pay out of pocket because there's a certain system in the paradigm and health insurance and the medical community. Yeah. It's really starting to crumble because people aren't healing. That's the challenge. People aren't healing. Stuff is getting thrown at these symptoms, and then the person still has the aches and the pains and the psychiatric issues and the gastrointestinal issues and the rashes, all of it. So we're looking to help people heal at the root cause by restoring the body to what God naturally wanted it
Speaking
to
of restoring the body, regardless if it is mainstream medicine or an alternative option, most professionals would agree that our bodies do a great job of healing themselves. Is this what you found?
Yes, I have to say yes.
Right?
Yes, if you can take the offenders or the assaults out of the way. And most people don't have the information, the education, the knowledge. Why? Because they're busy working 2 or 3 jobs just to put food on the table. So yes, we are trying to get to root causes and remove things. Our body was created to heal beautifully on its own.
When we're in pain, we are overwhelmed. First of all, not only with the discomfort we feel, but with all the choices that need to be made. Is going from one product to another really a common frustration for many people, would you say?
Absolutely, because you have hope and it rises eternal, and you try it and you get sucked into the marketing and the branding and all that, and then you get like scarred and you get a little wounded, and then you get more tired. And for some people, unfortunately, they get to the point where they've tried so many things, they just become numb, or they become severely cynical and not willing to try anything else, when just around the corner, because science and medicine and healing is constantly evolving, right?
Yeah.
So something maybe even 2 or 3 years ago that might have worked or didn't work, we now have some more solutions.
Interesting. As a life integration coach, you have discovered some life-altering products to share. One of those is body balancing drops. Before we discuss what those do, can you explain how easy it is for us to use them?
Absolutely. What you do is there are 2 bottles, and you take the first bottle and you shake it up. It has homeopathic frequencies in it, and unless you've studied from Eastern cultures or been educated in it, Western civilization, Americans do not understand this, okay? So they're energetic frequencies that have worked for thousands of years over in the East. And in that first bottle are some energies which help tamp down your appetite. They help impact your pancreas, so they maximize the functioning of it. They give you, we say it's liquid discipline. They give you some self-control. You put that under your tongue, it gets absorbed immediately. It doesn't have to make it through the gauntlet of the body. It is bioavailable immediately right under your tongue. You wait 10 minutes, set your alarm, then you take the second bottle. You shake that second bottle. In that second bottle, it's a high dose of B12. A lot of Americans are deficient in B12. They have methylation issues, which is a whole host and a cascading effect to poor health, lack of detox. B12 is very important to get into your body. And then there's some adaptogenic herbs. Ashwagandha is called the mood food. It's beautiful. It helps to impact our energy level and ability to be, I think, hopeful, actually. And then rhodiola is very important, too.
So we're talking about a few drops, 10 minutes apart, easy peasy to administer for ourselves. Let's break down what those drops do. First of all, they suppress your appetite. Can you explain to our viewers what that means, and is weight loss normally a result they get?
Absolutely. So by suppressing your appetite, it gives you a newfound freedom to have some kind of control. So if the chips won't be calling to you, or the Reese's cups, or the kids' Halloween candy, it starts to make things a little more neutral because your appetite starts to get under control. Now that is paired with a food plan in which you're eating low glycemic. So these aren't magical drops like I Dream of Jeannie out of the bottle. So these drops combined with the food start to change your metabolism and your biochemistry naturally. And that's very empowering because then you can make healthier choices when you're in control.
I mean, so these drops also balance hormones, they support thyroid levels. Why is that important for optimal health, and will this work for men and women?
Absolutely, and not just women for sure, because over time our hormones start to change. Men usually have a softening. There's a change that occurs whether they want to admit it or not as they mature. Women clearly have some estrogen changes and some other hormonal changes that most women are very familiar with. What it does is it runs through all of the endocrine systems, so like the thyroid, the parathyroid, the pineal gland. It runs through and it impacts your pancreas for men, testes, ovaries for women. So what it's doing is it's really kind of providing a template with the low glycemic eating to remind your body, hey body, this is how you perform at optimal function. So there are some lifestyle choices, but it does optimize, it balances. We do not diagnose, we do not make medical claims. However, we have seen some miraculous healings at root cause where people can really have a healthy life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're talking 3 times a day, usually before each meal. Does this also help with digestion as well as sugar levels that we hear so much about in the media these days? I mean, is this something a diabetic can take, or how does that work?
Absolutely. There are no contraindications. Ultimately, we do recommend someone check with their physician if they feel that they need to, and we have had people do that. What it does, though, is because of the food plan, which, again, this is whole foods. Our body knows what to do with whole foods, right? We're pulling out some of the sugar. We're helping people with their sugar addiction. We now know, too, 2 that they're calling Alzheimer's, diabetes 3. It's like everything is linked to excessive sugar. So we're reminding our body how to function with natural sugar and to get online and to be healthy and to really thrive and not automatically go into disease, which many Americans, if they don't change their lifestyle habits, they're going to end on a very unpleasant note with disease.
Exciting for people here in Colorado. I think everybody knows somebody who's a diabetic. It almost seems. I mean, I see it so often.
I know.
I mean, these drops basically, like you say, they reset metabolism, yet they're hormone-free. They are stimulant-free. I mean, this is really a homeopathic natural solution. Does that excite people?
It excites me. It excites everybody in our community. I mean, we sold over 1 million bottles at this point. I will say I have who has come down off of some of his meds, and you do that as a step-down program with your doctor, but as your body starts creating what it needs, it doesn't necessarily need the meds. So some people have successfully stepped down and gotten off in some cases. But yes, the quality of life amongst all ages, though, because even young people are dysregulated. Young girls, their late teens, their early 20s, it's called a Dutch hormone panel test. You pee on a stick, 30 days, they look at your results. A lot of young ladies now have imbalances in estrogen and progesterone. They're going to have problems even conceiving. We're a hot mess now because of our food system, because of our air, because of 5G, all across the board. Yeah, we need help. We need help, and help is here.
Interesting. Not only have products advanced in assisting our health, but so has technology. Before we let you go today, can you explain a little bit about this device that provides an AO scan? I mean, it really uses this science that some of the greats like Tesla and Einstein have come up with back in the day. Share with us, what is an AO scan?
Yes, the AO scan comes from a company called Solex. They acquired the technology from the Russians years ago. Okay. When the Russians were communicating with their cosmonauts. We also communicate with our astronauts. But what they did is they refined it over the years. And the pieces of the scanner that I like are pieces that help people record their voice, helps people understand what's going on through the tones in their voice, so they can touch back into their emotions, which directly tie to your organs, right? If you're running around type A and you're stressed and fight flight the whole time, you're pumping all this cortisol through your body. You could be causing gastric acid. So our emotions are tied to our organs, tied to our health. We have a scan. It's called the inner voice. That's a beautiful way to give music back. So frequency medicine back to the person, calm them down. We also have another device, I am a hypnotherapist, in which you can go in with your own voice, self-empowering, use technology of binaural technology, and you can literally start to retrain and put new grooves in your brain for the kind of thoughts you want. Maybe your dad told you were a loser, you weren't good enough. Your mom said you didn't measure up. It doesn't matter, but your brain got programmed that way. That's garbage for the life you want as an adult. No shame, no blame. Our parents did the best they could. We can now choose and reprogram and be and have the behaviors tied to that. The person we want to be, we just need to reprogram the computer. The technology allows your brain to get to 8 hertz, which is theta brain levels, so you can relax and take it in. It's amazing. It's amazing.
My family would probably be pleased that I could retrain parts of my brain.
Yes,
That would make
I'll
them
help
happy.
you.
Okay, so this is a biofeedback machine.
Correct.
I mean, it's a frequency generator that scans the body, then determines which areas are energetically out of balance. Then it sends really back those frequencies to our body. What has been some of the feedback of some of the people that have experienced this?
They have more mindfulness, they have more clarity. It's easier for them to achieve what they want to do because they've got new program coming in a natural way, in some cases with just different tones of music to help balance them out. In other cases, they're self-empowered. The recordings are in their own voice. We have to be our own hero, our own guru, and stop outsourcing it to everybody else. That's how we're designed. We've just kind of lost our way.
Interesting. Really, when we don't understand technology like you're talking about right now, people can be kind of scared over that. Yet this is safe and effective. It helps you get a closer look at our emotional, biological, and physical well-being, really at the energy level. Mm-hmm. Is being a coach, is this your way of kind of educating people on what's available out there?
Absolutely. It's my way. I hold the space to empower people, to remind themselves You're your own healer. You're your own guru. You're amazing. You're very unique. You were designed in your own way. We need to get some of the garbage out and help reignite that spark inside of you that as a baby you had.
I mean, Stephanie, you basically say you have been on a hero's journey. You help people access their own power. You believe without integration, people struggle to optimize their talents in order to add value and contribution. Is this rewarding work for you?
It's amazing when people meet themselves and that aspect of themselves. Because most people are running around with the wounded child, the self-saboteur, all these aspects that are like in internal family systems. Those people, those aspects have been on stage for far too long. It's time for our healers, our adults, our successful entrepreneurs to take center stage, love on everybody else, but start running the show.
Interesting. It's got me excited just listening about it. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is her website. On the website, you see all the service she provides. Definitely read the testimonials out there as well. I mean, if you're exhausted from coping or white-knuckling over the years, reach out today. I mean, it's time to choose the beliefs and behaviors that support your success. Once again, that is healing through embodiment. Because time does not heal you. You only heal you. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.